a composition by one of the most prolific composers of from Egypt of the 20th century. His name was Abdelwahab. Muhammad Abdelwahab was a composer, singer, and actor. He was born about 1910. Of course, birth dates are very ambiguous, pre-2000. But he was born into the British rule in Egypt and before the revolution. He eventually did contribute to the revolution, which was a passive revolution. Egypt did have many revolutions, not the one we just see on TV today. And music always played a large role. So much so that I'll get to that in the next song. We're going to play with another iconic figure from Egypt. But it played such a large role that presidents or rulers or leaders would actually go to certain musicians and artists who had influence over the people and ask them to either write or sing a song that would either inspire the people or create revolution or just to generate patriotism among the people. Abdelwahab is no exception to that. He did actually eventually influence all of the music of the Middle East. Egypt was known really as like the Hollywood of the Middle East for its films, but also what Nashville is to country music, Egypt was to Middle Eastern music. Egypt was Dunya, as they say, mother of the world. And one thing that always happens with any kind of rule, when people go to colonize another people or take over, there's always the bad, as we usually see it, but there's always a good side to it. One good side in this case was, because the British were so highly concentrated in Egypt, they brought with them, of course, the things they loved dearly, besides just red tea and bergamot tea and more tea, and milk and tea. They brought with them big band music, jazz, these kinds of things. And slowly but surely, around the 50s, you started hearing what was once what we call a traditional dakht Arabi, traditional orchestra, Arabic orchestra, which consisted of a reed flute, a ney, an oud, a qanun, which is kind of like a large zither that's plucked, a riq, and a violin sometimes as well. Well, adding to that, in the 50s, because of the big band effect, you started putting horns, you started hearing upright bass, eventually accordion, and then ultimately guitar, organs, farfisa organs. And nowadays, people feel that because technology and the advent of technology, I think I can buy all of this in one little box and I'll call it a keyboard. So today, unfortunately, many people seem to use keyboards to generate these sounds, which will never, ever, ever take the place of the actual instrument itself. But that aside, music politics, yes. That aside, the music truly evolved from Egypt, and ultimately, guitar, bass, accordion, and all the Western instruments we know today, saxophone, clarinet, started to find a place in Middle Eastern music. And Abdelwahab was truly one of the first people to introduce these items to the music, along with many other composers, but truly he's the one that's kind of out there.